It's Friday night, and you know what that means. Welcome inside the Palace on Poirier as we get set for tonight's BC Junior A Lacrosse League matchup between the visiting Port Coquitlam Saints and your Coquitlam Adanacs. Jigaraj Lully with the call here on behalf of our incredible crew at Trickshot. We have Shahab in the producer's chair, as well as John on camera. Appreciate everyone spending their Friday evening here with us today. And for these two teams coming into this one, lots of change the last 7 days on one side. The Port Coquitlam Saints, of course, major factors on the trade market as well as the signing market. It's a new start, a fresh start here for the Port Coquitlam Saints as they look to continue their race in the Minto Cup. They started off this week by making a trade, acquiring Oscar Lucas from the Burnaby Lakers, as well as Jeremy Lant from the Burnaby Lakers as well. And then for the other move that the Port Coquitlam Saints would make, they acquired Jared Maznick, Sebastian Miles, and Blake Young from the Delta Islanders. Jared Maznick, of course, the leading goal scorer in the BC Junior A Lacrosse League, the leading point scorer, I should say, 50 points for Jared Maznick in 13 games played this season. Maznick, of course, he last faced the Port Coquitlam Saints on Saturday with his old team, the Delta Islanders. And now Maznick looks to continue his season here in the BC Junior A Lacrosse League as a member of the Port Coquitlam Saints, and will try to compete for not just the league championship, but hoping that Port Coquitlam can win the league and move on to the Minto Cup. Of course, Port Coquitlam last in action a week ago, a game in which they were defeated by the Delta Islanders. 8-4 was the final score. Josh Mills, the driving force for Port Coquitlam there. He had a hat trick and an assist. Braden Rieger's power play goal gave Poco a 3-2 lead midway through the second period. However, Delta would respond with 6 of the 7 final goals. The one who scored the go-ahead goal late, Jared Maznick, late in the second period, which would shift the momentum permanently in the Islanders' favor. Jared Maznick, of course, a hat trick and an assist in the last game. Blake Young had a goal and 2 assists as well. Both teams finished 1 for 2 on the power play, and the even strength play was the difference. Port Coquitlam, they had 51 shots. They competed with one of the league's, they competed definitely with a gritty team in Delta, but they could not sustain that pressure late as Delta would walk away with the win. We shall listen in now to Ryan Chilton, and tonight's had at least 3 points in yesterday's game. George Caldroni had a goal, 3 assists. Kai Hartley, 2 goals, 2 assists. Xander Freeman had a goal, 2 assists as well. Coquitlam led from the opening goal, and they outshot Langley 49-35, but the Thunder would continue to answer back. They cut the deficit to 1 goal 3 separate times before scoring with 26 seconds remaining to make for a tense finish. Final score was close, but Coquitlam controlled much of the play by nearly doubling Langley's shot total through the opening period and finishing with a 49-35 shot edge overall as Coquitlam improved to a record of 9-1-1. The Adanacs, of course, top of the league, while the Port Coquitlam Saints sit 4th place in the BC Junior A Lacrosse League. As promised, we shall throw it down now to floor level for the introductions of the Coquitlam Adanacs.
Number 4, Matty Dane. Number 6, Owen Eckert. Number 7, Nathan Chalmers. Number 8, Miles Archibald. Number 14, Kyan Barar. Number 19, Callum Olson. Number 20, Henrik Lucas. Captain number 24, Jordan Reed. Number 27, Parker Kennedy. Number 32, Carter McLean. Number 41, Alec McNarama. Number 43, Caleb Amoka. Number 44, Sam Charbonneau. Number 45, Jack Olson. Number 48, Xander Freeman. Number 68, Kai Hartley. And number 77, Ben McElhargy. Fans, tonight, the Port Coquitlam Saints and your Coquitlam Adanacs come together to celebrate National Indigenous Month, a month dedicated to recognizing the rich history, heritage, diversity, and vital contributions of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. Join us for a pregame speech. Please welcome a good friend to your Coquitlam Adanacs, lifetime lacrosse enthusiast, and member of the Squamish Nation, Pete Natral.
Asquile, Swathkane, Queen Sa, Squamish Okameo. Greetings and good day, everyone. My ancestral name is Swathkane. I'm from the Squamish Nation, and I'd like to acknowledge that we're guests here on the Coquitlam First Nation territory and ceded territory, and we're here celebrating National Indigenous Peoples Month on behalf of Coquitlam. Just like to put our hands up to everybody here tonight witnessing this game. So on behalf of Coquitlam, I'd just like to wish both teams an exciting game tonight. Hoichka.
We acknowledge that this game is taking place on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Coquitlam First Nation. We thank the Coquitlam who continue to live on these lands and care for them, along with the waters and all that is above and below. We now ask that you please rise if you're able and remove your hats for the Coast Salish Anthem. Originally written by former Tsleil-Waututh Chief Dan George as a prayer song while waiting for his brother to return safely from a hunting trip, Dan gifted this song to all Salish-speaking nations and anyone living within their traditional territories to serve as a beacon of unity and strength. We now ask that you please remain standing if you're able and join 11-year-old Tenley McCready in the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Our pregame ceremony continues. We would like to invite Adanacs captain Jordan Reed, as well as Port Coquitlam's Josh Mills, Lincoln Wall, Dylan Elad, Connor Zavitz, and Carter Donahue to join our special guest at center ice for a ceremonial puck drop. Thank you all.
It's Friday night, and you know what that means. It's time for BC Junior A Lacrosse League action as the Coquitlam Adanacs take on the Port Coquitlam Saints. It's time to take a look at tonight's starting netminders for the visiting Port Coquitlam Saints. Starting in goal is going to be number 88, Ashton Brown, a 7-5 record this season. He's played all 12 games for the Saints. A .857 save percentage that has kept Port Coquitlam competitive. He's going to be relied upon to slow down Coquitlam's high-powered offense. For the Coquitlam Adanacs, you know him, you love him. It is number 33, Owen Byers, 8-0-1 record in 11 games played this season. Many can call him the Adanacs workhorse as he's remained unbeaten in regulation while posting an 8-0-1 record. So Owen Byers looking to help Coquitlam walk away with the win here today as well. As these two teams facing off for the third and final time this BC Junior A Lacrosse League season, they have met each other twice. We'll get into that a bit later on. Opening face-off set to get underway at center floor. We are off and underway. The Adanacs go from right to left on your screens wearing the white jerseys with the yellow helmets, while the Saints will go left to right wearing the black jerseys with the yellow trim. We're off and underway as Captain Jordan Reed takes the ball down the near side, and he will send it off to the oncoming Matty Dane. Adanacs offense gets a chance to go to work. Nate Chalmers, far side, centering pass back for Chalmers. A bit of a give and go there with Xander Freeman. Freeman picks up the ball. Extra pass, Matty Dane, a drive, and that is wide of the goal as the ball will slow all the way down to goaltender Owen Byers, who will receive it and will send it to Parker Kennedy. Kennedy, far side, Xander Freeman works off the shoulder. Pass gets through out now to the near side. Here's Matty Dane. Dane for Freeman. Extra pass, Kai Hartley now to the far side. Parker Kennedy looks to go on in. Kennedy, a shot from that left shoulder, and that ends up wide of the goal. Nate Chalmers picks up the ball. Chalmers gets it back up top, 5 seconds to shoot. Chalmers will take, and that ends up heads up right on goaltender Ashton Brown. And now Port Coquitlam looks to set their offense as Wall will bring the ball down the near side. Lincoln Wall now with a lot of options to work with following the recent acquisitions of Jared Masnick and Oscar Lucas. Here's Parker Emlott. Check that, Elijah Terry. Wall back up top. Ball gets through to Oscar Lucas. Lucas walks in. He scores! Instant impact for Oscar Lucas. His first goal in a Poco Saints uniform. And the Saints strike first, 1:25 in. Oscar Lucas in his 13th game played this season, the first with the Port Coquitlam Saints. Port Coquitlam knew what they were going to get in one of the most dangerous finishers in the BC Junior A Lacrosse League. He's ranking second on the team in goals coming in, shooting well over 20% this season, and Oscar Lucas has his 23rd of the year. The Port Coquitlam Saints strike first. Adanacs looking to respond. Kyan Berard caught a check off the shoulder. Ball gets up top here to Alec McNamara. McNamara misplayed it, couldn't get the pass through to Olsen. That being Jack Olsen. As the ball escapes over center floor, over and back, and Port Coquitlam is fired up. Keep in mind, folks, you have a tale of two sides here. One team coming off a gritty, hard contest against the Langley Thunder last night. Meanwhile, Port Coquitlam has not played in 6 days, so they are freshly rested with some of their new pieces they've acquired. The ball gets through out now to the far side. Here's Braden Reiger. Reiger out to the near side. Mills walks in, goes downhill. A shot stopped away by Owen Byers as he stopped that one between the pads. The ball comes back out now to the far side. Picked up here, going up the floor is Alec McNamara. Adanacs offense looking to hit the floor, and they do. George Caldroni picks up the ball. He'll come down the near side. Caldroni off the bench comes Xander Freeman. He'll pass it over to Kai Hartley, now to Parker Kennedy. Kennedy up top, works off the screen to Miles Archbold. Down to the near side, Caldroni. Caldroni goes to the center behind the back wide of the goal. Ball gets back up top. Here's Freeman, a drive. A save there made by Ashton Brown. The ball was left behind him. Levi Toohey, Saints captain, will head up the floor. He'll drop it off to the near side. Here's Oscar Lucas, the lone goal scorer in today's contest. Lucas works off the screen. He'll hand a pass over now to the far side. Josh Mills picks it up. Mills, a bit of a give and go, couldn't complete. As Jared Masnick also looks to pick up the ball there. Recent acquiree from the Delta Islanders. A turnover. Alec McNamara comes down the far side, now to the middle. McNamara walks in. A shot stopped away by Ashton Brown. Loose ball scooped up by Oscar Lucas, who many fans watching the Trickshot broadcast will know very well, considering he played with the Burnaby Lakers the first half of the season. Mills, centering pass gets through. Lucas, a drive wide of the goal. The ball's picked up by Lucas again, and he just left it wide of that near side post. Mills picks it up, centering pass, feeds it on in. Here is Lucas, a shot there by Hemmerling McLean, stopped by the pad of Owen Byers. The ball's scooped up now down the near side. As looking to get past is Hamaoka to Jordan Reed. Reed, extra pass. Here's Kennedy, couldn't receive it. The ball's now collected by Luke Neary, who moves up that far side. Neary heads down the floor, crosses center line. Luke Neary will hand it off. Here's Lincoln Wall coming down the near side. Skips a couple of steps. Far side, pass gets through Jared Masnick up top. A stop away there by Owen Byers. Ball's picked up here by Elijah Terry. And Port Coquitlam really liking their start here, putting the pressure on the Adanacs early on. The ball comes back out near side. Mills, centering pass in front, and Masnick couldn't receive the ball to finish off the play. The ball's picked up here by Henrik Lucas of Coquitlam. He'll send it out to the near side. Owen Eckert crosses center floor line. Eckert up top, stops, gets it through. Here's a shot. Oh, the stick was taken out somehow. And the Port Coquitlam Saints will receive possession of the ball. And they will head back up the floor. The Adanacs coach, or the Saints coaches, are fired up. The bench is fired up. An electric start here for the visitors at the Palace. Mills out to the left. Here's Jared Masnick. He'll spin. Masnick steps through. Masnick now to that far corner. Stops. Takes another twirl. Masnick near side. Mills. Here's Josh Mills. Mills centering pass. Wall, a drive. Stopped away by Owen Byers. Adanacs netminder has been tested early and often so far. Has only allowed one goal on the 5 shots he's faced. Nate Chalmers coming downhill. Chalmers walks in, works off that left shoulder, drops the ball back out to the far side. Freeman, now to Parker Kennedy. Kennedy up top, he'll look for open space. Now to the left, Chalmers fakes, works off the screen. Chalmers up top looking for an open lane, gets it through. Here's a shot by Kennedy, stopped away by Ashton Brown, who got a piece of it. As now the Saints will look to take over, coming back down the other way. As Adanac's leading scorer, Parker Kennedy, was denied there. Kennedy having himself a great season so far, 46 points in 11 games played. Here's Oscar Lucas, now to the far side. A drive there by Brandon Rieger, and that is stopped away by Owen Byers. Approaching 6 minutes elapsed here in the first period of play. The Saints lead the Adanacs 1-0 tonight at the Palace on Poirier. You're watching Coquitlam Adanacs Junior A Lacrosse, powered by Trickshot on Junior Adanac TV. Caldroni now to the far side. Here's Parker Kennedy back for George Caldroni. A shoulder save made by Ashton Brown. Miles Archbold is working here against Luke Neary. He'll bring the ball up the floor. Neary now to Sebastian Miles, another acquisition from the Delta Islanders. And for Saints fans who may not know, Sebastian Miles is a multi-sport athlete. During the winter season, he plays hockey with the Nanaimo Clippers of the BCHL. Ball will come back out now to the far side as it's collected by Zach Vanderwall. Fournier picks off the pass. Here's Fournier. Fournier with Wall. Wall walks in and he'll score. No, referee's going to say no goal. The ball it looked like it had crossed the line, but it stayed in the crease. And the foot was perhaps stepped into the crease. The back official had the eye on the ball the entire time. Back to live action. Kai Hartley, far side. Parker Kennedy bumps that left shoulder. Kennedy for Matty Dane, near side. Dane goes up top. Matty Dane to Nate Chalmers. Chalmers works off the screen, tries the tight pass there to Matty Dane. That won't go. And here's another look courtesy of our friends at Trickshot. No, that ball hit that right post. It never once crossed the line. Shout out to our producer, Shahab, for getting that up quickly. And now the Adanacs will start play here from the near side half wall. Matty Dane out to the far side. Kai Hartley across, gets the pass through to the half wall. Ball will end up back out now to the near side. Here's Matty Dane. He'll take, and a save there made by Ashton Brown. Boy, some contests feel like a playoff type atmosphere in the regular season. This one's certainly that, with the crowd that we have here at the Palace as well. Ball will come back now out to the near side corner. Here's Mills centering past Masnick. A shot wide of the near side post. Jared Masnick looks to scoop up the loose ball. It's intercepted. Back comes Jordan Reed, captain Coquitlam. Reed walks in, up top, drives right to the net, and that's wide of the weak side post. Port Coquitlam really liking their defense so far in this first period. Shots 7-6 in favor of Poco. They lead the game 1-0. Mills coming down that near side, lost the ball. Mills scoops it back up top to Wall, and the pass doesn't get through. It's going to cross that center floor line. Over and back, says the official. Adanacs look to take advantage. Henrik Lucas, near side half wall. Lucas to George Caldroni. Caldroni up top to Parker Kennedy, fresh off the bench, out now to the far side. They'll send it back to George Caldroni. Caldroni to Kennedy. Parker Kennedy drives on in. Penalty coming up here. It's going to go against Poco. As Owen Byers heads to the bench for the extra attacker, Kai Hartley telling his team to settle things down. George Caldroni, near side, back for Nate Chalmers. 6-on-5 here for Coquitlam on the delayed opportunity. Chalmers up top to Kai Hartley, back for Nate Chalmers. Hartley, he'll take, scores! On the delayed opportunity, Kai Hartley up top, wires one. Past Ashton Brown. This game is tied at 1. That's going to be Kai Hartley's 18th of the year off the efficient pass from Nate Chalmers. A give and go between those two. Chalmers with his 22nd helper of the year for Hartley's 18th goal of the year. And this game is tied at 1. Back to live action here as the Coquitlam Adanacs tying this game up at 1. What has been a very tight defensive contest. Owen Eckert with the interception here for Coquitlam. He'll hand it off. The ball gets through for Parker Kennedy. Kennedy now to the far side. Chalmers, Olsen. Callum Olsen back in the Adanacs lineup here at home. Olsen walks in off the end board and almost got the rebound to himself. Unable to find the back of the net. Here's Chris Fournier back for Port Coquitlam. Fournier now to Oscar Lucas at the near side. Lucas at the half wall looks for open space to work with. Oscar Lucas near side hands it off for Mills. Centering pass. Back for Jared Masnick. Masnick up top. Mills will take, and that ends up stopped away by Owen Byers. 9:35 to go in the first. 1-1 tie here between Port Coquitlam and Coquitlam. Mills back out now to the near side. Wall sends it over. Ball ends up back to the far corner. As behind the net, Poco looking to go to work. Comes back to Elijah Terry. A shovel pass gets through for Jared Masnick. Now to Oscar Lucas. Lucas takes a couple steps back behind the net looking for the dunk play, but the referee calls for the crease violation, and the Coquitlam Adanacs will take back possession. Here's McNamara. Alec McNamara crosses center floor line. George Caldroni gets it back at the near side. Caldroni for Kennedy. Kennedy now to the far corner. The ball gets back up here for Xander Freeman. Now to George Caldroni. Caldroni, left side, up top, Kai Hartley. Now to Parker Kennedy. Kennedy working off near that goal line. He'll take a spin. Parker Kennedy, 2 seconds to work with, and that is going to be a shot clock violation. Port Coquitlam ball, and Port Coquitlam's bench is fired up. They've kept that same energy throughout this first period of play, and they were able to score first as well. Chase Hemmerling McLean takes the ball. He'll hand it off for Wall. Wall working off the screen, out down to the far side. Here's Jared Masnick working against Owen Eckert of Coquitlam. Masnick being hounded by Eckert. Masnick gets through the D, hands it back behind the net. Here's Braden Riegert back to the front of the net as they got a shot on goal away, but the Adanacs will respond downhill. Here's Jordan Reed to the offensive end of the floor. Reed near the half wall, works off the screen, centering pass. Hartley a drive, and that's wide of the goal. As now Coquitlam will do their best to try and keep play alive here in the offensive end. Matty Dane, 15 seconds to work with on the shot clock for Coquitlam. Here's Callum Olsen. Now to the far side, Kennedy. Far corner. Driving on in is Matty Dane, and that ends up stopped away by Ashton Brown. Saints will bring it back to the center floor line. Neary hands that one off here to Josh Mills before heading to the bench for a change. Mills working one-on-one there momentarily against McNamara before getting help. Elijah Terry, far side. Terry at that far corner. Emlott tries to set the screen. Terry for Parker Emlott inside, and that is stopped away by Owen Byers. Elijah Terry. Possession reset here for Port Coquitlam. Chase Hemmerling McLean out now to the near side. Here is Josh Mills. Mills to the far wall. Back for Mills. Mills working downhill at that right side. Mills will take the short shot, stopped away by Byers. The ball ends up now behind the net here for Port Coquitlam. Chase Hemmerling McLean. Left side, Elijah Terry works off the screen in front, and that's wide of the near side post. As getting a piece of it was Owen Byers there. Perhaps referee called for the shot clock reset. Here's Lucas to Hemmerling McLean. Now to the far side. Emlott in front, and that's wide. Mills will pick up the ball. He's sent into the near side corner. Referee's going to call for the push play here. It's going to stay Port Coquitlam ball. Competitive matchup here between these two teams. On paper, it's a 1v4 matchup, but folks, I mentioned it in the pregame. This Port Coquitlam team is completely different than what we saw 7 days ago in Delta. Wall takes a spin, falls down, now to the far side, Elijah Terry. Terry walks in, backdoor, great save by Owen Byers, as he's able to stop the backdoor play there and keep this a 1-1 tie. Reed crosses center floor, now to Nate Chalmers. Chalmers near side, drops it back up top to Caldroni, now back for Nate Chalmers. Chalmers works off the screen, out now to the far side's Kennedy. Up top, Chalmers, he fires, stopped away by Ashton Brown. Port Coquitlam will take the ball. Great interception there by Matty Dane as he's able to force the turnover momentarily. But getting the ball back is Blake Young, also another former Delta Islander acquired in the trade, made official just a couple days ago. Hemmerling McLean being hounded there. As now it's Oscar Lucas, far side, Miles in front, he scores! Miles to Hemmerling McLean. Chase Hemmerling McLean makes no mistake for his 12th of the year. He's provided that secondary scoring as Port Coquitlam has needed all season long. And off the sweet setup from Sebastian Miles, who has his first point as a Poco Saint. Hemmerling McLean able to go low there on goaltender Owen Byers. It is 2-1 for Port Coquitlam. So Port Coquitlam, I guess, making sure that they needed numbers there. Delay of game called here against Port Coquitlam, and the Adanacs offense will take over. Nate Chalmers, as Coquitlam looks to respond. Callum Olsen now to the far side. Parker Kennedy. The ball gets through to Kai Hartley. Near side, Chalmers gets open. Chalmers goes downhill, tried to feed it back door, and unable to finish that was Callum Olsen. And now the referee's going to call it through the crease perhaps. Poco will take back over. Eilette comes downhill. He'll walk in. He scores! Dylan Eilette gets open on the transition opportunity and makes no mistake there for the Poco Saints, as the Saints have now added an insurance marker. Dylan Eilette downhill is able to make it 3-1 for Port Coquitlam. You saw there on the replay, no mistake made, and that's going to be the first career goal for Dylan Eilette in the BC Junior A Lacrosse League. Congratulations to you, young man. Kyan Barar fell down as he tried to pick up possession of the ball for Coquitlam. Eilette now to that far corner, as the ball will come back now near the end wall here for the Coquitlam Adanacs. Unable to keep possession there on the offensive end, where Coquitlam, however, trying to fight for the ball was Blake Young. He lost it. Eckert gets back now to the far side. Owen Eckert. Here's Miles Archbold. Archbold gets it back through now to the far side. Kai Hartley. Here's Matty Dane up top. He'll take, and that ends up wide. The ball will come back now down the near side. Matty Dane, cross-floor pass gets through. Out now to the right, a shot there. Pad save made by Ashton Brown. Matty Dane picks up the ball, moves it back for Xander Freeman. Up top, Parker Kennedy for Freeman. Here's Xander Freeman, finds open space, and that went off a body and to the end wall. As now the ball's picked up by Kai Hartley. And the Saints will take it back to the offensive end of the floor. Lincoln Wall, near side. Wall works off the screen. Illegal pick called here by the ref. It's going to be Adanacs ball. Coquitlam looking to waste no time on the transition opportunity. Jordan Reed downhill, stripped to the ball. Lincoln Wall with an incredible play there to strip the ball from Reed, and he's able to force the turnover. Blake Young comes back down the near side, hands it forward to Wong. Young back to the far side for Jared Masnick. Two Delta teammates with a pass between them there. Masnick at the goal line. Jared Masnick called for the illegal pick, where the Port Coquitlam Saints is going to be Adanacs ball. 3:09 to go in the first. 3-1 the score here as Port Coquitlam leads. Owen Eckert down the middle for Matty Dane. Dane comes back down now to the near side. Matty Dane up top, stops. Ball goes back out now to the far side. Fresh off the bench is Callum Olsen. Kai Hartley out to the near side. Here is Chalmers. Chalmers works off the screen. Chalmers up top. Illegal screen, illegal pick here called against Coquitlam. Back and forth we go with those illegal pick calls. Now Port Coquitlam will take back over on offense. Meach to Parker Emlott. Now to the near side for Mills. Mills, near side, works off the screen. Mills goes now to the goal line in the near corner. Mills being hounded by the Coquitlam defense. Somehow gets a shot away up top, and that's stopped by Owen Byers. As now the ball will end up back out to that far side. Jack Olsen will bring it up the floor. He'll feed it forward to Jordan Reed, who leaves it back for Miles Archbold. Archbold from the near side walks to center floor. Chalmers a drive, and that's wide of the goal. Referee's going to say deflected off a Poco body and out of play, so will stay with the Adanacs. Chalmers out now to the far side. Parker Kennedy. Kennedy near side Here's a shot by Hartley, stopped away, rebound, and Hartley trying to get his own rebound there. It was wide of the goal. And now the Port Coquitlam Saints will get back possession of the ball. Here's Wall. Gets it through. Chase Hemmerling McLean. Out now to the far side, Elijah Terry lost it. Looking to take advantage are the Coquitlam Adanacs. Here comes Kyan Barrar, one-on-one. Barrar open on the breakaway, a shot, and they are going to be called for the through the crease there. It's going to be Port Coquitlam ball, as that will not count. Ball will come back out now to the near side. Here's Oscar Lucas. Lucas near side, looks for open space. Oscar Lucas centering past Mills, and again a misplayed pass. Again, the Adanacs looking to take over. It's Jack Olson, one-on-one on the breakaway, a shot, and that's off the post. That had to have been off the post, as Olson unable to capitalize there. Matty Dane. We're in the final minute here in the first period. The Port Coquitlam Saints up 3-1. Caldroni drops the shoulder up top. He'll take, and that ends up out of the goal. Ball ends up back here into the hands of Sebastian Miles. Miles brings it up the floor. He'll head off to the bench for a change. Hammerling McLean hands that one off. Oscar Lucas now to the left side. Masnick a drive, and that's stopped away by Owen Byers. Still with possession of the ball were the Saints momentarily. The Adanacs, however, will now bring it up the floor. Sam Charbonneau will take it, and a timeout has been called by head coach Pat Coyle for the Coquitlam Adanacs. 3-1 the score with 14.5 seconds to go here in the opening frame of this one, in what has certainly felt like a playoff type atmosphere. Let's have a look at the rest of the schedule this weekend for the BC Junior A Lacrosse League. The Nanaimo Timbermen host the new West Salmon Bellies tomorrow, 2:30 p.m. at Frank Crane Arena. On Sunday, the Burnaby Lakers host the Victoria Shamrocks for a 2 o'clock opening face-off at the Swamp, the Bill Copeland Arena. Boy, what a game for the Lakers on Wednesday, a back-and-forth affair with the Delta Islanders. And on Sunday, your Coquitlam Adanacs host the Nanaimo Timbermen for a 2:30 opening face-off right here on the Palace, right here from the Palace on Poirier. The two games on Sunday can be streamed courtesy of Trickshot, so if you can't make it out to the respective arenas, be sure to tune in with us right here. 14.5 seconds to go. Adanacs netminder Owen Byers is on the bench for the extra attacker, and the Adanacs will look to cut the deficit down to 1 before the first intermission. Here we go. George Caldroni will bring the ball up the floor. Caldroni, far side. Here's Parker Kennedy to the goal line. Backdoor, and Archbold unable to keep his foot out of the crease. It is going to be Saints ball. Net was empty for Coquitlam. It won't matter nonetheless, as the Adanacs unable to capitalize on the extra attacker situation. And at the end of one period of play, the Port Coquitlam Saints lead the Coquitlam Adanacs 3-1. Your shots on goal in the first period of play by Port Coquitlam 17, by the Adanacs 17. Your scoring summary: Oscar Lucas opened the scoring courtesy of Chase Hemmerling McLean and Lincoln Wall. The game was tied at 1 8 minutes exactly later, thanks to Kai Hartley capitalizing on the extra attacker opportunity. It was a delayed penalty called against the Port Coquitlam Saints, but the penalty call was not required, as able to capitalize was Kai Hartley. Port Coquitlam then would score to make it 2-1 at 5:25 of the first period. Chase Hemmerling McLean with a goal there, his 12th of the year, the assist to Blake Young and Oscar Lucas, who got their first career assists with the Port Coquitlam Saints. Of course, Lucas had the opening goal of the game for the Port Coquitlam Saints. And then Dylan Allette downhill on the transition opportunity was able to give Port Coquitlam a 3-1 lead. Now, folks, as we know, this Port Coquitlam team, very different from what they were 7 days ago. The additions that they've made, like Oscar Lucas, like Jared Masnick, and even depth guys like Blake Young and Sebastian Miles, should set them up for a lot of success coming to the rest of the season. Of course, the Saints weren't done with the moves just there, as after acquiring Masnick and Lucas, they would also acquire the services of Zachary Vanderwall, who is wearing number 23 for the Port Coquitlam Saints. So a big presence for them on that defensive side. 6'5", 205 pounds. And in the words of the Saints coaching staff, he brings size, strength, and a great defensive presence to their lineup. So things are looking up for Port Coquitlam. Meanwhile, on the Coquitlam side of things, is there a bit of fatigue coming from that game last night against Langley, a close 9-8 contest? And will that play a factor as the game goes on? Well, there's only one way to find out, folks, and that is to join us for the second period of play. We shall step aside for the remainder of the intermission. We'll be back with the second period in just a bit. Stay tuned. You're watching Coquitlam Adanacs Junior A Lacrosse on Junior Adanac TV, powered by Trickshot. Welcome back inside the Palace on Poirier as we get set for period 2 in tonight's game between the Port Coquitlam Adanacs and your Port Coquitlam Saints and your Coquitlam Adanacs. Got my tongue twisted there between these two crosstown rivals. Jagraj Ali with the call here once again on Trickshot on behalf of our crew, Shahab and the producer chair, John on camera. Appreciate everyone spending their Friday evening here with us as we get set for period 2 after a very entertaining first period of play. 3 goals from Port Coquitlam, just the one from Coquitlam. Shots in the first, 17 by Poco, 16 from Coquitlam. Of course, these two teams know how to score, as the Adanacs averaging near 9.8 goals per game, Port Coquitlam 8.8 goals per game. So for the second period, the key to the game for the Coquitlam Adanacs is going to be to try and slow down Port Coquitlam's high-powered offense. Masnick, Mills, Elijah, Terry, Oscar, Lucas, those 4 will continue to drive nearly everything offensively for Port Coquitlam. So Coquitlam just has to try and limit the ball when it comes into the hands of those 4. And you're seeing the physical approach here to start this second period of play from Coquitlam. Sam Charbonneau, far side. As the turnover is forced, back come the Saints down the other way. Here's Luke Neary, walks in, a shot stopped away by Owen Byers there. Of course, Coquitlam this period going from left to right on your screens, wearing the white jerseys with the purple trim, while the Saints right to left wearing the black jerseys with the yellow trim. Up top, here's Kai Hartley. Hartley drops it back out to the near side for Parker Kennedy. That's intercepted. As the ball will come back up the floor, Zach Vanderwall. That big body I talked about, the recent signee for the Port Coquitlam Saints. 6'5", 205 pounds is Zach Vanderwall. Here's Sebastian Miles. Ball comes back to Elijah Terry. Terry sends it out far side. Josh Mills. Miles will take a shot that ends up wide, and the ball will cross center floor. It's going to be over and back. Adanacs will take the ball. Now you got to think that this Coquitlam Adanacs team certainly got a speech from head coach Pat Coyle during the intermission. Can they get themselves back into this one? Kennedy, far side. Ball gets through back for Parker Kennedy. Matty Dane there as well. Here's Kennedy up top. Walks in. Hartley shoots. He scores! Kai Hartley with his second of the game. And a minute and a half into the middle frame, the Adanacs are back within 1. Good passing play set up here. A great roll off the screen by Parker Kennedy. Finds Kai Hartley. Great net front presence there by Hartley as he is able to beat goaltender Ashton Brown in tight. And Coquitlam has their second goal of the game. So now the Adanacs will look to respond. The second goal of the game from Kai Hartley. He's got both of Coquitlam's goals. And Kai Hartley continuing his strong season now, up to 19 goals on the campaign. Parker Kennedy up top, extra pass. Nate Chalmers a drive, stopped away by Ashton Brown. The ball will come back now down the near side. Here's Levi Toohey, Captain Poco. Far side, in front, scores! Oh, what a passing play! Blake Young with a great centering pass to Jared Masnick. Dare I say the Delta connection there between those two. The former Islanders connect to get Poco's response goal. Levi Toohey, good pass in front to Blake Young, all finished off by Jared Masnick. Beautiful passing from Poco. It's 4-2 Saints. And sometimes as a lacrosse fan, all you can do is sit back and appreciate. Here's Hamaoka, walks in, a shot stopped away by Ashton Brown. And I mean, just as a follower of the sport, all you can do is sit back and appreciate great passing plays like that. Dylan Aylett, who also has a goal for Poco here tonight. The ball will come back out now to the far side. Of course, Jared Masnick there, his first goal as a Port Coquitlam Saint, up to 28 goals now on the season. Here's Masnick looking for 29, walks in, a shot, shoulder save made by goaltender Owen Byers. Of course, Masnick, with his 28 goals now on the year, he is leading the BC Junior A Lacrosse League in terms of goal scoring. Jack Olsen hands it off to brother Callum Olsen. Near side, here's Freeman. Up top, he'll take wide of the post. Freeman gets it back. Ball will come back up top. It's going to be a push into the crease. And the referee's going to say this is indeed going to stay as Coquitlam ball. There was a push there on that far side in front of the Poco bench. Did not see what happened. Freeman gets the ball back up top. He'll hand it off now to that left side. The ball is up top here with Miles Archbold Freeman. In front, Caldroni, he scores! George Caldroni continuing his hot streak of scoring as he scored yesterday and scores today as well. Coquitlam are back within one. And so another good passing play by the Coquitlam Adanacs. They find George Caldroni inside there. And Caldroni coming off a goal yesterday against the Langley Thunder has now scored in all but one of his contests as a Coquitlam Adanac. The only game he was scoreless was his first game with the Adanacs. That was back on June 2nd against the New West Salmon Bellies. Now up to a 7-game goal-scoring streak as George Caldroni. Parker Kennedy up top. Moves it over far side. A shot partially blocked in front. Blake Young picks up the ball. Young turns the corner out now on the near side. Blake Young will head up the floor. Young moves it forward. Here is Josh Mills for Poco. Cross floor pass gets through to Elijah Terry now to the near side. Terry at the sound of the goal will move it back up top. Here's Mills. Josh Mills walks in. A shot stopped away by Owen Byers head on. As the Adanacs try to pick up the loose ball, McElhargy couldn't pick it up. He's now whacking away for it. Behind the goal goes Owen Byers. And now he'll send it forward out to the near side for Reed. And the referee's going to call a turnover here. No, he's going to call a whistle. And yes, it is indeed going to be a turnover. Poco ball. Elijah Terry to Jared Masnick. Fresh off the bench is Oscar Lucas. He'll hand it off out now to the far side. Lincoln Wall up top, Jared Masnick. Masnick in tight. Goes wide of the goal, back up top. Wall, stutter step, gets around the D. Wall drops the defender. In tight, Mills shoots, he scores! Again, this Poco team with that passing, that chemistry. It's not taking them time at all to adjust to the new additions. 5-3 Port Coquitlam. Just look at this passing by Port Coquitlam. In tight, falling down, still able to get a shot away. And they're able to beat Owen Byers in tight to make it 5-3. I mean, dare I say, we're seeing a preview of the BC Junior A Lacrosse League Finals here between these two teams. A potential preview with how they continue to go back and forth. Neary picks up the ball. Blake Young near side. Young tries to go back to the center of the floor. He'll hand it off. As now, Malott will hand that one back. Rieger up top. Rieger, rather. Check that. Up down to the far side. A shot, scores! Lincoln Wall with a howitzer of a shot. And he joins the scoring here as well for the Port Coquitlam Saints. 6-3 Poco. Their largest lead of the game. As what a wire of a shot there from Lincoln Wall. And it is 6-3. So a strong start for the Port Coquitlam Saints here in the second period. I mean, you can say the same thing about the Coquitlam Adanacs as well. 3-2 the goal scoring already here in favor of Port Coquitlam. Learn gets the ball back up top. Check that. Tyler Learn now will hand it off. Malott, Terry, right side. Here's a shot by Mills. Stopped away by Owen Byers. Rebounds collected in front. McElhargy, near side, Sam Charbonneau. Charbonneau crosses the center floor line. As now, can Coquitlam's depth players step up perhaps? The two goals that Coquitlam had in the first period, both coming from Kai Hartley. Which other name can step up here in this middle frame to try and get Coquitlam back within striking distance? Blake Young feeds it forward, tries to send it to Mills. Young, it went off of Blake Young's stick, out of play, and the ball is recollected here by Coquitlam. Owen Eckert heads up the floor. Eckert stops back. He'll knock that one forward out to the near side. Xander Freeman tries to work off the screen, instead sends it to Parker Kennedy. Near side, unable to collect the ball there was Callum Olsen. And Port Coquitlam with the interception. Wong moves up the floor. Adam Wong near side, although he does play defense, so he will most likely try and send the ball to his teammate before heading off, and it's going to be an over and back call. This is going to be Coquitlam ball. So the referees trying to discuss here what the call is going to be. It looks like it's going to be a power play here for the Coquitlam Adanacs. And indeed, that will be the case as Wong is going to be heading to the penalty box, the first power play of the game for the Coquitlam Adanacs. And here is an opportunity for the Adanacs to get back within striking distance. Chalmers a drive wide of the near side post. Parker Kennedy picks up the ball, moves that one to the net front. Dane in front. Caldroni couldn't finish it off. Here's check that Kai Hartley to Nate Chalmers. Chalmers near side. Parker Kennedy behind the goal. Extra pass out now behind the net. Caldroni for Kennedy. Caldroni back in front. Hartley couldn't finish off the play in the bumper's position. The ball is recollected here by Matty Dane up top. Here's Chalmers. Dane. Caldroni left side. He'll take, and that ends up wide of the goal. And the referee's going to say the ball went out. No, it's going to be called for a holding penalty, and now Coquitlam will be on a 5-on-3. So holding penalty going to be called here against Luke Neary of the Port Coquitlam Saints. And for a minute 22 or less, the Coquitlam Adanacs will be on a 5-on-3 opportunity. The league's best power play at 39.6% gets to go to work here on a two-man advantage. Parker Kennedy gets the ball. He'll head up the floor in tight. Hartley steps back for Kennedy. Kennedy left side back for Hartley in front. Stopped away by Ashton Brown. Parker Kennedy corrals the rebound. Nate Chalmers for Kennedy. Kennedy for Hartley tries to go low. Ashton Brown made the save. Hartley gets back the rebound now for Parker Kennedy. Nate Chalmers, far side Caldroni. Backdoor Hartley couldn't complete the pass. Kennedy, left side Caldroni. Back to the back door. Here's Hartley for Kennedy. Hartley at the doorstep is Caldroni. He couldn't finish off the passing play. Blake Young will bring the ball back up the floor, short-handed here for Port Coquitlam. As the ball will end up now down on the near side. Levi Toohey. Jared Masnick collects the ball. Near side. Masnick working against oncoming pressure. Kyan Barrar, Sam Charbonneau. Hounding Masnick, a third player. Owen Eckert tries to hound Masnick as well. Jared Masnick is met against by three Coquitlam defenders. A fourth looking to join the fray. The Poco bench loves it. The Poco crowd loves it. And indeed a shot clock violation forced. But for Jared Masnick, you did your job there, trying to run down the clock as much as you could. And he will get pats on the head from his coaching staff, his new coaching staff. Chalmers up top, Kennedy. The ball's dropped back for Hartley, for Nate Chalmers to Caldroni. Caldroni backdoor shot stopped away by Brown. He got a piece of it. The ball ends up back near the crease. One player is back out onto the floor here for the Port Coquitlam Saints, as the Saints having Adam Wong back out on the floor momentarily. Mills left side, drop that one back up top, out now to the far side half wall. Here's Lincoln Wall. Wall looking to go downhill. Wall works off the shoulder. Effective penalty killing here by Port Coquitlam. The ball scooped up, shoveled up by Owen Byers. Luke Neary's out of the penalty box, back to 5 aside. And Port Coquitlam has killed off not one but two penalties there from the Coquitlam Adanacs, the league's best power play. Ball ends up back out now to the near side. Here's Parker Kennedy. Tries to go right down to the middle. Extra pass out to the left. Kai Hartley picks it up. He'll take a shot stopped away by Ashton Brown. Port Coquitlam with a 71.1 penalty kill percentage coming into today's game. Effective penalty kill there. Blake Young will send the ball forward. Here's Josh Mills. He'll pick it up. 10:30 to go in the second period. Malott has this one back at the left side. Malott up top will take, partially blocked in front. Owen Eckert picks up the loose ball, heads back downhill for Coquitlam. Owen Eckert one-on-one, he'll walk in, he shoots, where's the ball? It thought the net rippled definitely, but it does not look like it was there. Yeah, Chalmers will now go behind the goal to pick it up. Nate Chalmers ends up back in front, and Jordan Reed couldn't finish it off. Chalmers and Reed, two longtime teammates. They're looking to connect, unable to do so. Meach, extra pass in front. Mills shoots, scores! A great setup from one side of the floor by Meach as he finds the wide open Josh Mills there back down the middle. And now the Port Coquitlam Saints establishing a 4-goal lead. As you can see, one-on-one, Owen Byers beat there by Josh Mills off the pass from Meach. And Jordan Meach with a sweet setup. Looks like we have a goaltending change, folks. That will do it for goaltender Owen Byers for now. As Pat Coyle goes over to talk to him, Ben Thibault will take to the pipes. Thibault this season, 2 games played, a 1-1 record. Sam Charbonneau takes up the ball now. And can a goaltending change here perhaps provide a spark to this Coquitlam Adanacs team? Kennedy picks the ball up. He'll move it back over now to the far side. Back from Parker Kennedy near side. Kennedy walks in, looks to set a screen. Parker Kennedy near side, drives right to the net. A shot stopped away by Ashton Brown. Still lots of time remaining in this game. Anything can happen. But Port Coquitlam really putting their foot down on the floor and on the pedal perhaps in this second period. Reiser receives a pass. Near side, goes downhill on the left. A shot stopped away by Ben Thibault. As he will make the save, and the Adanacs will head back up the floor. Here's Jordan Reed. Fresh off the bench here is Callum Olsen. Olsen hands it off for Parker Kennedy. Now to the far side. Has Caldroni for Kennedy. Back out to the near side. Xander Freeman to Callum Olsen. Left side, Caldroni. Miles Archbold that will take, and that ball goes out of play off of Poco's stick. It's going to stay Coquitlam ball. Olsen, Freeman, near side. We have a loose stick on the floor as the Port Coquitlam Saints. Zach Vanderwall playing without a stick. Ball comes back out now to the near side. Here's Kennedy, and Kennedy's taken down. His stick whacked out of his hands. Referee says play on. Coming down the near side with rapid fire speed is Toohey. Levi Toohey walks in, a shot, and Captain Poco could not find the back of the net. Oh, a heavy collision at the near side. And you're going to see tempers flare here. Luckily, it seems like the Adanac that went into the boards is okay. But you're seeing tempers flare here between these two crosstown rivals as Eckert and Chris Fournier getting into it with one another. And we'll see what the call is going to be here from the official. The referees definitely had their arms up in the air. So here's Jared Masnick making his way to the penalty box. Take a look at the replay right here. As you can see on that far side, oh, Masnick caught him right on the numbers, and I'm not surprised. This is a 5-minute major. So Jared Masnick will now head to the box. 5 minutes and for the Port Coquitlam Saints. That could end up being a major loss. You give a dangerous team like Coquitlam 5 minutes to work with on the man advantage, despite killing 2 of their penalties before. Anything can happen. And Jared Masnick sitting in the box now for 5. A boarding major given to Masnick, and the Adanacs will be on the power play. Here's Parker Kennedy. Up top, Chalmers. Left side, Caldroni. Hartley in front and leaves it wide of the near side post, rather. The ball comes back out near side, Kennedy. Up top, here's Nate Chalmers. Chalmers, back door. Moves it back to the left. Here's Caldroni. George Caldroni up top, Nate Chalmers. He'll wire one. That goes high above the crossbar. Wong will pick the ball back up, and he'll look to kill as much time off of the penalty clock as he can. Wong hands that one forward to Blake Young. Young now to the far side, Elijah Terry. As the ball will indeed get through here to Oscar Lucas. Lucas, who opened the scoring tonight for the Port Coquitlam Saints, hands it forward to Lincoln Wall, and as you're seeing here, Wall will drive right to the net, scores! A short-handed goal by Lincoln Wall. Jared Masnick in the penalty box fired up as Lincoln Wall has his second of the game, and Port Coquitlam short-handed has made it 8-3. Boy, that is about as high of a morale boost as you can get for the Port Coquitlam Saints. You just lost you lost your team's leading point scorer to 5 minutes in the penalty box, and you score a shorthanded goal out of it. And Lincoln Wall with his second of the game there, now up to 24 goals this season. As he has made it an 8-3 game. Lincoln Wall sitting on 30 points this season, 24 goals. Now up to 32 point season on the year nonetheless. Kennedy up top, Chalmers a drive, and that is wide of the net. Caldroni picks up the ball. George Caldroni lost it, and now we're seeing a player down in a lot of discomfort. By the looks of it, this is Levi Toohey, Saints captain, currently down in a lot of discomfort, as I can see. And he will be helped off. Of course, you never like to see a player go down like that. We hope and pray that Levi Toohey is okay. 3:41 remaining in the major penalty to Jared Masnick, a major penalty in which the Port Coquitlam Saints have already scored shorthanded. The ball will come back up top now to Kennedy. He'll move it downhill. Here's Chalmers up top, near side Kennedy. Chalmers will wire one, and that ends up wide of the goal. Chalmers will now head back to collect the ball from goaltender Ben Thibault. Here's Nate Chalmers, near side Parker Kennedy. Adanacs power play looking to come alive here. Caldroni backdoor, and behind the net they score. Power play goal for the Coquitlam Adanacs. And they get one here on this major so far. It's a 4-goal game. And so Matty Dane will get credit for that one there. Receives the pass down low, and Dane is able to beat the goaltender on the glove side. The blocker side there nonetheless, I should say. And 4 goals now is the lead. Eckert. Charbonneau. Cross floor. Here's Chalmers. The ball ends up back out now to the far corner. Goal line. Chalmers up top, drops it out to the near side. Here's Nate Chalmers, moves it back to the left, behind the net. Kennedy, near side, drops it behind the goal, in front. Hartley shoots, he scores! Second goal on the power play, third tonight here for Kai Hartley. The Adanacs get 2 on the man advantage, and it's a hat-trick goal for Kai Hartley, and all of a sudden this is a 3-goal game. Good give and go there behind the net. As Matty Dane, not only can he score, he can set up great goals as well. As Dane finds Hartley in front, and no mistake made by Kai Hartley there. And now the Coquitlam Adanacs only trail by 3. Shots on goal on the scoreboard in-house, currently 28 apiece. 5:40 to go in the second period. Ball will come back with Owen Eckert. Here's Kai Hartley, near side. Hartley hands it off to Archbold. Miles Archbold at the far side half wall. Up top, Hartley gets it through left side. A drive blocked in front. Caldroni tries to pick up the ball. It's picked up by Blake Young, perhaps here shorthanded. Saints already have 1 shorthanded goal. They're looking for another. Of course, Poco coming into tonight, folks, shorthanded. The Saints had 2 shorthanded goals. They just got their 3rd tonight. Looking for number 4, perhaps. Time in the penalty has indeed come to an end. In front, scores! And now you'll see rough stuff here after the goal. Of course, the penalty time had expired after that second goal by the Adanacs. Jared Masnick now heads off the penalty box, and that goal is indeed going to count. Let's see what happened here on the instant replay. As you see, the Saints crash the net. They're able to get one past Ben Thibault, and immediately after, rough stuff between these 2 teams. Owen Eckert sent to the penalty box. Minor lacrosse players here as well, looking to say hello to Owen Eckert, although I'm not sure he's in a festive mood right now, perhaps after that last goal that was scored. Eckert just getting 2 minutes. We'll see if there's a Poco player sent to the box as well, and that's what the referee's indicating. So it looks like they're going to send Jared Masnick back in the penalty box, because I believe he had gotten 5 and a 10 perhaps, so the time hadn't expired. So by the looks of it, lone penalty assessed to the Coquitlam Adanacs, and Poco is back on the power play. They're on the power play actually for the first time tonight are the Port Coquitlam Saints. Power play sitting 5th in the league, 32.7% for the Port Coquitlam Saints this season. Ball will come back now down the near side. Here's Parker Kennedy. Kennedy bumps the shoulder. As the Adanacs short-handed here, trying to kill off time, but maybe try and get one back. Hartley near side. Kai Hartley has a hat trick, looks for number 4, and the loose ball will come back here to the near side corner. Nate Chalmers is taken down. Poco will try and get the ball back, and they will. Adam Wong heads up the floor. Wong gets around the surrounding Coquitlam pressure. Will hand the ball off here to Josh Mills before he heads to the bench for a change. Mills near side. Ball will come back to Elijah Terry. Ends up out now to the far side corner. Here's Oscar Lucas. To the left, Terry. Up top, Mills fires, and that's a great save made by Ben Thibault. Loose ball scooped up at the side of the goal. It'll come back now out to the near side as the ball is sent back to Eckert. Barrar lost that one back. And now it will indeed be Port Coquitlam ball. Here's Blake Young. He'll head up the floor. Young, near side, cross floor pass, gets through for Mills. Josh Mills up the floor to Elijah Terry. Back for Mills to Terry. Terry to the back of the net. What a save by Ben Thibault, reaching back, denying Lincoln Wall there. Terry, Mills for Terry. Terry for Mills. Mills behind the back, a little bit of razzle-dazzle to Terry, and that was partially blocked. As now the Adanacs will head back up the floor. Here's Alec McNamara. McNamara lost it. Learn tries to get it back. Reed scoops it up the floor, over and back called, and this is going to be Port Coquitlam ball. As the Saints able to force the over and back at center floor, and possession is back here into the hands of Port Coquitlam. Mills, far side wall, out of the box goes Owen Eckert. We're back 5 aside. Terry, backdoor shot, and that is partially stopped there by goaltender Ben Thibault, and they left it wide. As Saints will now get it back. Here's Wall up top. He'll fire, and that's wide of the goal. Referee's going to say it was deflected indeed. Will stay Poco ball here with the shot clock reset. 2:45 to go in the second. Mills hands it off out now to the far side. Terry in front, over the shoulder. They score. The Saints don't need the power play after all, as they strike, go over the shoulder. And it is a 5-goal game once again. 10-5 now the score. Just when you thought that Coquitlam had cut the deficit down, Port Coquitlam showing great resilience, great valiance, and a great resilience, like I said, to bring themselves back up by 5. As that last Poco goal coming courtesy of Oscar Lucas, his second of the game. So now the Adanacs find themselves down by 5 after they cut it back to 3. Can they do that again? Kyan Barrar tries a shot, as that shot nearly not having enough power as he wanted. It'll come back out now to the near side. Toohey. Captain Poco himself, Levi Toohey, to chase Hemmerling McLean. Hemmerling McLean out now to the far side. Emlott gets the ball back now to the near side. Here's Chase Hemmerling McLean. He'll send it behind the net, a chance, and the crease violation called there. It's going to be Adanac's ball. Reed brings the ball back up the floor. Here's Reed, near side. Hands the ball across. Kai Hartley for Parker Kennedy. Kennedy up top, drops it back. Caldroni for Kennedy. Kennedy works off the screen. In front, Hartley diving on in, and a save there made by Ashton Brown. Here's Caldroni behind the net. George Caldroni drops it back near side, back for Parker Kennedy. Kennedy moves it off the near side wall. Parker Kennedy up top, and that's a save there made by Ashton Brown. The ball will come back here into the hands of Jordan Meach. He'll bring it up the floor for Fournier. Fournier moves it forward. Jared Masnick rejoins the action here for the Port Coquitlam Saints. Oscar Lucas, whenever those two are out there, that's going to be a dangerous duo the rest of the season. Mills, right side, behind the net, in front. Lucas couldn't finish it off as he couldn't get open space to finish it off. Terry will take, and a save there made by Ben Thibault. The ball will be sent back up the floor. Here's McNamara. Alec McNamara, left side. Falling down was Chalmers. He lost a step there. Still tries to get a pass away, but he is stripped of the ball. Chalmers, loose ball, now picked up by Blake Young. 30 seconds to go here in the middle frame, and a timeout is indeed called by the POCO coaching staff. Of course, the staffs on both sides, starting with the POCO Saints staff. Head coach Travis Cornwall, assistants Jeff Cornwall, Kevin Schumacher, Josh Wall. The GM is David Kidd, and he's joined by GM Ian Patterson, who serves as a assistant coach. Josh Wall, David Kidd, of course, the GMs, Ian Patterson also on the staff as an assistant coach. Meanwhile, for the Coquitlam Adanacs, head coach Pat Coyle, Scott Wortley, the general manager, Aiden York, the door coach, Sam Angelis, the athletic trainer, Troy Hartley, the equipment manager, Dane Dobby, the assistant coach, and Saqib Niaz is the head trainer for the Coquitlam Adanacs. This Adanacs team currently down, but not out by any stretch of the imagination just yet. Still lots of lacrosse to be played. Of course, 28.2 seconds on the clock here in the middle frame for Port Coquitlam to get an offensive attack away, and the third period still coming up between these two teams. So for Port Coquitlam, Jared Masnick will bring in the ball. The shot clock will be turned off. And the empty net for Port Coquitlam, Ashton Brown on the bench for the extra attacker. Jared Masnick will move the ball up to Josh Mills. Mills has possession and will look to run out the clock here before finding enough time to get a proper shot away. Here's Mills up top. Mills moves back out to the far side. Ball ends up back up top left side. Masnick rolls the shoulder. Masnick behind the back. And that shot coming just a bit after the buzzer. Wouldn't matter nonetheless as it was wide. Second period has come to an end. And what a second period it was. Lots of scoring between these two teams. And a game in which Port Coquitlam can be very happy with their performances. Shots on goal that second period by Coquitlam 21, by Port Coquitlam 15 for a two-period total. By Coquitlam 37, Port Coquitlam 32. Goals in the second period, POCO outscoring Coquitlam 7-4. As we will get into the scoring summary at the end of the game. Penalties in the second period, Adam Wong, Luke Neary, and Jared Masnick for POCO for delay of game holding and boarding respectively. And a dead ball foul was called to Owen Eckert. Of course, after the play, he got into that bit of a scuffle, and that would indeed be called as well. Scoring in the second period, Kai Hartley would get the first goal of the period for Coquitlam. Levi Toohey would get one back for POCO. George Caldroni got one back for Coquitlam, and then four straight Coquitlam goals from Josh Mills, Lincoln Wall, Josh Mills again, and Lincoln Wall. Those two back and forth, they went in the scoring for POCO. At one point, it was 8-3 POCO. Coquitlam gets two back, courtesy of Matty Dane and Kai Hartley, but Josh Mills and Oscar Lucas would get those two back to make it 10-5 POCO. With that, folks, we shall step aside for the second intermission. A third period coming up next here on Junior Adanac TV. Don't forget, you're watching Coquitlam Adanacs Junior A Lacrosse on Junior Adanac TV, powered by Trickshot. Welcome back inside the Poirier Sport and Leisure Complex, the Palace on Poirier, as we get set for the third period of play. Third period of play is underway as Poco has been dominant so far, leading by 5 goals, scoring 7 in that middle frame. Coquitlam down but not out, as they have shown they can score in rapid fire fashion themselves. Mills gets the ball, drops it back out now to the near side. Here's Wall, far side, Masnick a drive, and that is stopped away by the netminder. Ball will come back out now to the near side. Here's Reed. Eckert back for Nate Chalmers, and Coquitlam's going to need a goal here early on in this third period of play, as it'll come back out now to the far side, moves it off. Chalmers, left side, Matty Dane. Dane drops the shoulder, goes up top. Here's Dane, walks in. Matty Dane goes low, and that's a save there made by goaltender Ashton Brown, who has been really good for the Poco Saints tonight. 27 saves. The ball ends up across the floor. Here's Chase Hemmerling McLean, as the ball will come back out now to the near side. Oscar Lucas. Lucas in front, retains possession. Up top, Hemmerling McLean a drive, and that ends up wide of the goal. Referee's going to say it is indeed going to stay with the Port Coquitlam Saints, as it went wide of the goal of Ben T-Bolt. Malott has the ball up top, hands it off out now to the far side, as the ball gets through to Braden Reiser. Unable to collect there is Oscar Lucas. And now it'll come back off now to the near side. Here's Henrik Lucas for the Adanacs. Lucas up top, George Caldroni. Caldroni on a 7-game goal-scoring streak that he extended today. Miles Archbold, far side, Parker Kennedy. Right side has Archbold unable to pick the ball back up. And Lucas there tries to force the turnover. Loose ball, unable to be scooped up there by George Caldroni. And now a heavy play here. Alette takes down his man, and it's going to stay Coquitlam ball. Miles Archbold very slow to get back up, but he's able to get back up eventually. Archbold has possession, moves it back out now to the far side. Kennedy behind the net. Getting it back is Archbold. Up top now to the right side. Kennedy a drive, and that ends up out of the goal. Caldroni unable to pick up the ball, and this is going to be over and back. Port Coquitlam will take back over on offense. Poco, Josh Mills with a hat trick so far tonight. Lincoln Wall, 2 goals, lots of assists. Oscar Lucas the same as well, playing a big two-way. Both scoring and playmaking is Oscar Lucas. Chase Hemmerling McLean has a goal and an assist as well. Here's Jared Masnick. Masnick will spin back, ends up now to the far side. Wall coming back out now to the near side. Of course, Jared Masnick had the sweet finish in that second period of play. Mills ends up with it up top, and that skyrockets high up into the air. And it will indeed be staying with the Port Coquitlam Saints. Mills gets the ball back out now to the near side. As here's Hemmerling McLean. Wall, centering pass in front, stop by T-Bolt. Rebound ends up wide of the net. As the ball will come back out now to the far side. Here's McNamara. Alec McNamara, left side, he'll take, and that ends up wide of the goal. For the Coquitlam Adanacs, a power play coming up here as we have a delayed opportunity. They've scored once on the delayed man advantage. Can they do it again? Chalmers settles down the ball. Nate Chalmers, far side. Chalmers gets it back at the left. He'll take a shot, stopped away by Brown. Loose ball's picked up. And this is going to be a illegal substitution penalty against the Port Coquitlam Saints. So the Adanacs will be heading on the man advantage. And it will be a penalty against Chase Hemmerling McLean. 2 minutes. He will be the one serving it. And now the Adanacs will be on the power play. Now, a power play in which they have been unsuccessful tonight. Matty Dane, Caldroni drops it back behind the goal. Up top, Matty Dane, left side. Moves that one back now behind the goal. In front, and that ends up to the side of the goal. My apologies, the Adanacs power play is definitely capitalized tonight. I was thinking the other way perhaps for the Port Coquitlam Saints. Ball will come back out now to the near side. Here's Mills. Leaves it for Oscar Lucas. Lucas gets the ball back out now to the near side. As Poco will be looking to kill him as much time, both off the penalty clock and the game clock, as that ends up wide of the goal. Lucas picks up the ball, unable to control it, and now he does. Oscar Lucas, a long drive, ends up wide of the goal. Rebound, and a bit of an alley-oop there from Lucas to Jared Masnick. Off the end boards and right to Masnick, but he couldn't capitalize on the play. Here is Nate Chalmers. Chalmers gets the ball. He'll move it out now to the far side. Parker Kennedy up top. Chalmers back for Kennedy. Chalmers left side. Caldroni. Caldroni backdoor in front. Great save by Ashton Brown as the ball ends up right under him. And the Poco netminder keeping the door shut here early in the final frame of regulation. Blake Young, who has had a great debut tonight as a Poco Saint. Young will hand the ball off out and out to the near side. Oscar Lucas comes back at the near side. As Lucas will have it up top. A shot stopped away by Ben Thibault. And now a battle for the loose ball ensues at the far side half wall. Jack Olson is slow to get up, as he seems to be in some discomfort. Will make his way off the floor. Owen Eckert at the center floor line. Out of the penalty box comes Chase Hemmerling McLean. Adanacs unable to capitalize on that man advantage. Chalmers left side. Here's Nate Chalmers. He'll look for a pass. Gets through. Xander Freeman out now to the half wall. Kai Hartley walks in, and that rings off the iron. Caldroni to Freeman. A shot stopped away by Ashton Brown. Ashton Brown continues to shut the door here in the third period of play. Zach Vanderwall will hand the ball off to Wall. Lincoln Wall up top. Here's Mills. Back for Lincoln Wall near side. Wall up top will take. He scores! Lincoln Wall, there goes 5-hole. And Wall's got a hat trick tonight as well. As for the Coquitlam side of things, it was Kai Hartley with a hat trick, and now Lincoln Wall with a hat trick to match him. And Poco has their biggest lead of the game, leading by 6. It is 11-5. Back to live action here, and as the Coquitlam Adanacs down by 6, despite the shots being the same. Now looking to find answers for this Port Coquitlam defense. Here's Matty Dane. Gets the ball back down the near side. Dane up top will take, and that's a save there made. Of course, third and final meeting between these two teams of this regular season. Coquitlam will win the season series, but Poco, with their performance tonight, will look to rather get one back here on Coquitlam rather than getting swept. Wall for Mills, he'll take. That's blocked in front. Deflection, says the official, and it's not going to be an over and back, as Port Coquitlam will take the ball. Not much time remaining on the shot clock there. It's going to be a turnover, and Coquitlam will eventually get the ball back. 12:45 to go in the third period here tonight at the Palace on Poirier. The Adanacs trailing the Poco Saints 11-5. Caldroni moves the ball back over, now near the goal line. As Caldroni lost it, comes back out now to the near side. Nate Chalmers up top. Superman shot ends up onto the goal. Collected behind the goal here by Chris Fournier. Out now to the near side. Saints will move the ball up the floor. Meach goes low, gets the ball back up top. Here's Port Coquitlam's Chase Hemmerling McLean. And, well, if you are the Port Coquitlam Saints here, you have no problem playing keep away. What a pass! They score! Oh, behind the back, Hemmerling McLean finds Oscar Lucas, who makes no mistake off the sweet setup. 12-5 Poco. What a pass! And it is showtime here for the Saints. Call them the Showtime Saints if you want, as they are putting on a show here on the road. Folks, if anything, tonight is a statement that the Port Coquitlam Saints are not here just to take part. They are here to take over. as they are up on the Adanacs 12-5. Maddie Dane, near side. Dane up top, he'll wire one that's wide to the far post. As the ball is recollected at center floor, over and back, and it is going to be Port Coquitlam ball. So the last Port Coquitlam goal coming from Oscar Lucas. The assists will go to both Chase Hemmerling McLean and Jordan Meach. As Poco's offense gets to go to work once again, Jared Masnick near side. Here's Mills in front. Elijah Terry goes over the shoulder. And Lincoln Wall to Elijah Terry there. Terry unable to beat goaltender Ben Thibault. Reicher hands it back for Mills. Here's Wall. Jared Masnick left side. Masnick moves it over to the half wall as the ball will come back out now to the near side once again. Here's Mills. Mills walking on in, a shot. And the referee looking to see where the ball was. It was loose. And it's going to be Adanac's ball. Ball will come back now down the near side. Here's Charbonneau for Nate Chalmers. Chalmers near side at the goal line. Nate Chalmers to Kai Hartley. Xander Freeman. Far side Parker Kennedy. Kennedy goes to the center of the floor. Here's Nate Chalmers downhill on that left. Chalmers tries low. And a crease violation called. It's going to be Port Coquitlam ball. The Saints will head back down the floor. Jordan Meach crosses the center floor line. Meach will drop that one off to the left. Here's Chase Hemmerling McLean out now to the near side. Oscar Lucas. Lucas cross floor pass gets through to Elijah Terry. Terry for Lucas. Fakes. Lucas walks in. He shoots. And a save there made by Ben Thibault. As the ball will come back now down the near side. Here's Reed. Reed, near side, walks in, a shot, and that is a penalty coming up here. It's going to be a holding call against the Poco Saints, and the Coquitlam Adanacs will head back on the power play. So Dylan Alette is going to be heading off 2 minutes, and it will indeed be the Port Coquitlam Saints now. Short-handed. Shots on goal, 41 for Port Coquitlam, 40 for the Coquitlam Adanacs. Of course, the Adanacs back in action on Sunday when they host the Nanaimo Timbermen here at the Palace on Poirier. We'll have the call here for you on Trickshot. Right side, Kennedy drops the ball back out now to the left side. Parker Kennedy drops that one behind the net to Maddie Dane. Caldroni for Dane. Dane behind the net. As the ball is back to Kennedy, up top Caldroni, now to the left side, Dane drops it behind the net. A little bit of a fake there by Dane, a shot after the whistle, and referee's going to call the turnover. It is going to be Port Coquitlam ball. Reminder, folks, coming up, we will have also the Metro safety moment of the game. At the end of the game, Terry will come back now down the near side. Moves it back up. Now to the far side once again. As the ball is sent high up. It'll come back out now to the far side. Lucas. Chalmers. Ball's handed out to George Caldroni. He'll move it up now to the far side. Caldroni, left side, Matty Dane drops it behind the net. Here's Kennedy up top. Caldroni for Kennedy. Kennedy, extra pass. The ball ends up where Caldroni he'll take, and that ends up wide of the goal. 43 seconds to go in the power play for Coquitlam. And the referee's going to call the over and back. It is going to be Poco ball. As the ball will come back here with the Saints. Now to the near side corner. Mills takes possession. Mills out now to the far side. To the left. Mills gets the ball back. He'll move it over out now to the far side for... And Mills will indeed get the ball back. It comes back out down the middle. Mills from the left side. Eckert will drop that one back. Here's Jared Masnick, picks it up for Poco. Check that, Oscar Lucas, the low shot there. The bounce shot clock violation is going to be the call with 8:02 to go here in the third. So now with Coquitlam down by 7, they're going to need a miracle of some sorts to try and get themselves back in this one. Down by 7. 12-5 the score. Of course, anything can happen in the game of lacrosse, but definitely a steep hill to climb for head coach Pat Coyle and his team. Matty Dane, far side. Here's Kennedy. Kennedy shoots. Save there made by Ashton Brown. A rebound is collected here by Poco's Jordan Meach. And now the Saints will head back now up the floor. Here's Toohey. Hands it off to Wall. Wall gets possession. Goes down the near side. Lincoln Wall cross floor. Wall out now to the far side. Here's Elijah Terry. Terry goes now to the middle to Hemmerling McLean. Near side. Works off the screen. Good pass in front. Wall shoots, and that ends up wide of the net. As the ball will come back here with the Poco Saints. Fresh 30 to work with. Short pass back for Chase Hemmerling McLean. The Saints continuing to work here on offense as the ball will come back to the near side. Here's Lincoln Wall, goes downhill. Tries the pass to the left, and Mills unable to get there in time to complete the pass. Jack Olson pins his man against the wall. As it'll be now collected by Lucas. Henrik Lucas back the other way for Coquitlam. Henrik Lucas for Alec McNamara. McNamara shoots, tried to go top shelf, unable to capitalize there, but Henrik Lucas does. As Lucas gets one back for Coquitlam. And Henrik Lucas has got Coquitlam's 6th goal up on the board. It is still a tough hill to climb for Coquitlam, but Lucas getting one back. And hey, folks, in a comeback, the first goal to score is always the toughest goal to score. So Henrik Lucas getting one back for Coquitlam. And for Coquitlam to tie this game, they have to operate at a goal per minute rate. So like I said, still a tough hill to climb, and the referee's going to call a trap here on the draw. That's going to head back with the Poco Saints. So Lucas has his 3rd goal of the season, and Coquitlam still trailing by half a dozen. Here's Lucas. Near side, Hemmerling McLean. Wall, near side, Hemmerling McLean. Out now to the far side, ball's off the end wall. It's intercepted. Back come the Adanacs. Here's Sam Charbonneau downhill, and the ball didn't sneak into the net. Oh, it had the goaltender beat, but couldn't find its way to the back of the net. Really sums up the night here for the Coquitlam Adanacs, who have gotten their chances. They lead the shot total by 2, but sometimes the goals just don't go your way. Wall, far side, Elijah Terry at the goal line. Terry tries the dunk shot, and that won't go. And now a heavy check here by Olson. Penalty coming up, and Jack Olson's going to head to the penalty box. So Lincoln Wall able to draw the penalty there. You can sense it was a bit of frustration on the part of Jack Olson. He's going to head to the penalty box, and Coquitlam will be shorthanded. So now Port Coquitlam will be back on the power play. And only their 2nd power play tonight, I believe. Yes, indeed. So the 2nd penalty of the game for Port Coquitlam. They're so far 0 for 1 on the man advantage tonight. Adanacs coming back shorthanded. It's Jordan Reed. Works off the screen. Reed gets open, and he left that one well wide. As that one was well over the crossbar. The ball will come back now to the near side. Mills crosses the center floor line. Mills goes down the floor. Of course, the regular season continuing to wind away, and then comes the best time of the season, playoffs. Here's a shot. Pad save made. And as the standings stand right now, folks, this would be a playoff matchup. The opening round of the playoffs would pit these two teams against one another. If that's the case, sign me up for that. Nate Chalmers near side. Chalmers has possession of the ball. minute remaining in the penalty against Olsen. As here's a shot shorthanded, and save there made by goaltender Ashton Brown. Approaching 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the third period. 6-goal lead here for the Saints. Reiser will head up the floor. He'll hand it off to Chase Hemmerling McLean. The ball's dropped back to Oscar Lucas for Mills. Far side, Elijah Terry. Now near the goal line, the ball gets through to Braden Reiser. Here's Oscar Lucas behind the net. Reiser to Elijah Terry. Reiser back for Lucas. Lucas cross floor. Here's Mills. He'll fire. Stopped by T-Bolt. Chase Hemmerling McLean trying to pick up the rebound, and the Saints get a shot clock reset. Here's Elijah Terry, left side, drops it up top for Mills. Now to the far side, Terry at the goal line. It's Reiser, Terry, Mills, near side. Terry up top. Mills will take a save made by Ben T-Bolt. T-Bolt has definitely had a strong second half to his game as well, making key saves for the Adanacs and head coach Pat Coyle. McNamara, Caldroni for Kennedy, as the ball will end up back out now to the far side. Here's Callum Olsen. He'll hand it off. Working on that right side. Here's Caldroni will take, and a save there made by Ashton Brown. Looking to get open is Wong here for Poco. Instead, he will hand the ball off to Lincoln Wall before heading to the bench for a change. Wall out now to the far side. Hemmerling McLean moves the ball over out to the far side. Here is Lincoln Wall up top. Screen is set there for Jared Masnick by Chase Hemmerling McLean. Masnick behind the net looking for the Michigan there was Parker Malott, but unable to capitalize. And now you see Sam Charbonneau getting into it behind the Adanacs net, but nothing will really pick up there. Jordan Reed near side. Reed off the bench as Chalmers to the back door in front. Lucas couldn't find the back of the net, as the Adanacs will get back the ball here. 2:20 to go in the third. Nate Chalmers behind the net. Chalmers drops that one back. Low shot stopped away by Brown, and now the shot clock was reset there. Lots of pushing and shoving, and the legal pick there called against Port Coquitlam. It's going to be Adanacs ball. So a tough night for the Coquitlam offense, as the goal scoring not there to match Port Coquitlam tonight. Freeman, that is sent wide, and it's going to be Port Coquitlam ball with 2 minutes to go in the third. And I believe that is also going to be 2 straight home losses for the Coquitlam Adanacs, as their last game was a tough loss to the Victoria Shamrocks back on Sunday, June the 14th, I believe. So now 2 consecutive losses at home here for the Coquitlam Adanacs, if this score was to hold up till the end of the game. And head coach Pat Coyle will have to regroup and get set for the matchup on Sunday. McNamara now out to the far side. Here's a drive and an elbow save there made by Ashton Brown. Ball comes back to Nate Chalmers, left side. Chalmers will take, and a save there made by netminder Ashton Brown. The ball will come back now down the floor. As here's Callum Olsen, met by heavy pressure in front. You're going to see bodies here colliding with one another in front of the Poco bench. Who has possession of the ball? It's a mad dash for possession of the ball. And now you're seeing things, tempers flare here in front of the Poco bench. Players on the floor like bowling pins. And the referee just separating everyone to their respective benches. I don't think we'll see any additional discipline here. Looks like there's some perspiration out on the floor, so the referee will call for the trainer to come and sweep the floor. And of course, a tough pill to swallow here tonight for the Coquitlam Adanacs, as the ball gets loose back out now to the far side. They'll come back across, moved out to the right side. A shot, pad save there made. Hartley up top, Archbold. Archbold couldn't scoop it up, and the Saints will take it back over down the near side. Here's Wong, goes on in. Wong stops back as Sebastian Miles, or check that, Blake Young tried to get possession. Sam Charbonneau with the interception. Charbonneau goes back. Sam Charbonneau fell down, slides to the floor. Charbonneau tries the centering pass, gets through to George Caldroni. Caldroni down the left side. He'll take, and that's a pad save there made by Ashton Brown. Ball goes out of play. As the left side will come through. Here's Archbold cross floor. Chalmers will let that one go. And ladies and gentlemen, the Port Coquitlam Saints have arrived. A week of blockbuster trades, a week of blockbuster moves, and the vision is coming to fruition as the Port Coquitlam Saints have just defeated the Coquitlam Adanacs to hand them only their second loss of this BC Junior A Lacrosse League season. A full throttle effort tonight for the Port Coquitlam Saints, an effort that head coach Travis Cornwall can certainly be proud of, as the goal scoring was there, the defense was there, the net minding was there from goaltender Ashton Brown. And with that, the Port Coquitlam Saints end up walking away victorious. Adanacs certainly end up outshooting the Port Coquitlam Saints, and the fans certainly being vocal here at the end of this one. And, well, like I said, the Port Coquitlam Saints certainly with an effort that they can be proud of here tonight. Teams will head to center floor to exchange handshakes. And with that, we shall bring you your 3 stars presented by Impact Canopy. As your 3rd star from tonight's game from the Port Coquitlam Saints, number 34, Josh Mills. Another hat trick for the Saints. Hat trick performer, consistent finisher. He helped blow the game open in the second period. Your 2nd star from the Port Coquitlam Saints, number 14, Lincoln Wall, a hat trick. He had a hat trick as well, lots of assists. And your 1st star from the Port Coquitlam Saints, number 28, Oscar Lucas, a great point night for him as well. I know the stat sheet doesn't have Jared Masnick's goals up there on the stat sheet, but I believe Jared Masnick certainly did have goals that he scored as well. So I'm sure we will get that updated in the score sheet at our earliest convenience. Your time now for the Metro Safety Moment of the Game. The Metro Safety Moment of the Game is brought to you by Metro Safety Training, proud supporters of competitive lacrosse here in Coquitlam. Tonight's Metro Safety Moment of the Game is going to go to number 68, Kai Hartley, who had a hat trick tonight for the Coquitlam Adanacs. His hat trick goal was certainly the Metro Safety Moment of the Game. It came at a time in which this Coquitlam team desperately needed something to go offensively. And for Kai Hartley getting that hat trick, at that point, he got the game back within a 3-goal striking distance. He would make it 8-5 for Coquitlam, but unfortunately the Coquitlam Adanacs would fall short by a 12-6 margin. Once again, congratulations to Kai Hartley, your Metro Safety Moment of the Game tonight. Well, the Poco Saints, they walked here into the Poirier Sport and Leisure Complex, and they were confident right from the get-go. The Saints dominated the scoring early, never looked back. They had a 7-goal lead in the second period. That built a commanding 10-5 lead at one point as well. Your final shots by Coquitlam, 55, by Port Coquitlam, 46. And the Saints had a balanced attack all game long. Oscar Lucas, Lincoln Wall, Josh Mills, Jared Masnick, also a strong night for him. For the Coquitlam Adanacs, the bright spot today was Kai Hartley, as he had 3 goals tonight. George Caldroni and Henrik Lucas also added goals as well, but the Adanacs couldn't generate enough consistent pressure to overcome the early deficit. Saints showed their dominance in transition and special teams. The Adanacs showed fight on the power play. Discipline definitely played a role, but call them the Road Warriors as the Poco Saints took care of business in a hostile environment here at the Poirier Sport and Leisure Complex. Of course, the Poco Saints are not back in action for the rest of the weekend. They have a full week of rest now before they're back at home next Friday when they host the Burnaby Lakers. And for the Coquitlam Adanacs, facing their second loss of this BC Junior A Lacrosse League season, still leading the BC Junior A Lacrosse League with 19 points. That is 2 up on the Langley Thunder. And so they're still sitting comfortably in first place, but Poco has now tied Victoria for third place in the BC Junior A Lacrosse League. Their stats are nearly identical as the Port Coquitlam Saints and Victoria Shamrocks. I believe the tiebreaker, the points is the same, the win percentage is the same. The head-to-head, I believe, between Victoria and Poco is what the tiebreaker is next. Meanwhile, for the Coquitlam Adanacs, as I said, they're still sitting first place in the league, and they have a matchup against the team that's sitting last place in the league, the 8th-seeded Nanaimo Timbermen, who just have 1 win on the season. But hey, that's the beauty about lacrosse. Any team can defeat any team on any given night. So the Coquitlam Adanacs and head coach Pat Coyle will certainly regroup as they look forward to Sunday. The next edition of Coquitlam Adanacs Junior A Lacrosse comes to you live this Sunday, June the 28th, when the Coquitlam Adanacs host the Nanaimo Timbermen. Opening face-off is at 2:30. If you cannot join us here at the Palace on Poirier, be sure to tune in on our Trickshot streaming platforms, whether that's trickshotlive.ca or the Trickshot YouTube channel. Opening face-off scheduled for 2:30 will be live at 2:25 with a bit of a pregame to get you set for the Coquitlam Adanacs and the Nanaimo Timbermen. That's going to wrap it up for our coverage of tonight's game. Folks, your final score, the Port Coquitlam Saints defeat the Coquitlam Adanacs 12-6. The Adanacs suffering only their second loss of the season. But the main storyline, the main takeaway, folks, is that the Port Coquitlam Saints have arrived. Jared Masnick, Oscar Lucas, and I mean, you have guys on the back end like Zach Vanderwall, depth guys like Blake Young and Sebastian Miles now added to the team as well. There's a goaltending on the way as well. All in all to say, folks, this Poco Saints team is going to be very dangerous this second half of the season. Now, on behalf of Shahab and the producer's chair, John on camera, this is Jagranj Lully saying so long from the Palace on Poirier. We'll talk to you again on Sunday when the Coquitlam Adanacs host the Nanaimo Timbermen in our second game of the weekend. For now, so long from the Palace.